Welcome to the class of Human Computer Interaction. This is your host Anwar Ali, and I am relating to the Department of Computer Science of Benazir Bhutto Shah University, Liari. Welcome you all, guys. We are learning the Human Computer course interaction course. Today we go through the previous topics we have covered, and after that we go to the remaining area of the studies. So, welcome again. Welcome to you all after a long break. Hopefully, you are well and you join this class for the further readings. Uh, I also emphasize you people that refer this book for any kind of studies relating to the human computer interaction. This person have a very good knowledge and grip over this topic. I always refer this book to the class of human computer interaction previously and currently also. Professor Dr. Keith Andrews, a very good knowledge person of HCI. So here we go to the contents of this book. What are these contents? We have to cover the HCI, the definition, another chapter, second chapter, psychology of usable things. Uh, Already we have discussed in the class usability engineering, know the user, usability benchmarking, goal-oriented interaction design, prototyping, and usability inspection methods, usability testing methods, usability in practice, visual design and typography, icon design. So these topics are very important topics in the HCI, are fully covered in this book. So you must refer and study this book in detail, and it is already uploaded on the Google Class on the first before the start of the class in the spring 2019 2020. Okay guys, we have to go to our topic, definition of the HCI. What is the definition of HCI? According to HCM, human computer interaction is a discipline. Here we have to little higher magnifier. Human computer interaction is a discipline concerned with the design, evolution and implementation of interactive computation for human use, and with the study of major phenomena surrounding them. So this is a definition. By the SCM. Till that we can, if we search the Google, we find the many other definitions also by the different platforms. So it's a very authenticated and standard definition by the SCM, recognized in the surrounding world. These are the references including this definition. We can see this is the context block diagram for the HCI. Here we have three factors relating to the HCI. One is human, another is computer, and last one is the interaction between these two parts. Human have the information processing system, natural process system, language communication. This is the language communication, the ergonomics. Computer has the interface metaphors, dialogue techniques, graphic design, I/O devices. Prototypes, design approaches, implementation techniques and tools, evolution of technique. These are the interfaces, human machine fit interfaces. And human, social organization, application areas and tasks. These are the block diagrams will explain the story of the HCI by ACM. And these are the online resources where we can get more information relating to the HCI. These are the ACM journals relating to the HCI field conferences, yearly conferences. This chapter number 2, in this psychology of usable things, when simple things need pictures, labels, or instructions, the design has failed. When any simple design has been labeled or pictured or placed instructions along with the design, it means the simple design totally failed. It means it is not simple, cannot be understood by the user. So this is the psychology of usable things. So in this usability chapter, we have to cover psychopathology of everyday things. Examples of where the design of everything went wrong. Means examples of where the design of everything went wrong means we design something and people can't understand the usage of these things. This is the whole thing explained in the open milk carton example, early tractors, and frustration of everyday life. Digital watch, mobile phone, washing machine, video recorder. When people can't understand the usage of these things, they went wrong. The design went wrong. So this is all we have already discussed in the class. Now these examples can be overviewed in detail by we have limited time to cover these topics. So these are the topics already gone. The perceived and real affordances. Psychology of everything. The perceived and real affordances are the range of possible physical actions by a user on artifacts. Perceived affordance means things to be possible. What things to be possible means we predict or assume the things to be possible by the design. Whenever real affordance are that actual actions possible in the design. For example, car cannot swim or float on the sea. It means the real affordance is the car can run over the road, not on the hill. So this is the real affordance and perceived. We assume that the car can run on every kind of roads. So this is the difference between real affordance and perceived. You can catch this by getting another examples of real life. Real world affordance. For physical objects, there can be both real and perceived affordances, and the two sets are not necessarily the same. Sometimes real and perceived affordance also together possible. Appearance indicates how to use something. The chair affords suggests sitting. Knobs are for turning. Slots are for inserting things. A button affords pushing. So button sometimes pushing and turning. Sometimes in the ceiling fan we have the button. We cannot push, but we turn that transistor button to speed up or speed down. So these it means that the physical objects they can be both real and perceived affordances. Labels When simple things need pictures, labels, or instructions, the design has failed. So without label, some designs cannot be affordable, cannot be complete. So it can be seen in the figure number 2.19. Graphical user interface affords means screen affords touching, mouse affords pointing, mouse buttons afford clicking, keyboard affords typing. Uh, Screen-based interfaces, the computer hardware already has built-in physical affordances. Screen affords touching means if we have the touch screen, that it affords touching and interacting with that. Mouse affords pointing means if our mouse cannot point out left right, buttons cannot work, then it have no affordance. Mouse buttons afford clicking, it can be clicked, interacted with the interface. Keyboard affords typing, and keyboard afford typings are required or needful. Changing the shape of the cursor to indicate a clickable link is not an affordance. You can still click anywhere, but visual feedback. So this is the graphical user interface affordance. Here another example can be learned that in the MS Word we cannot run the video, add the video in the MS Word. It is only limited on the uh, script writing. So this is the affordance, means MS Word affords the all matters of typing relating to, but it is not affordable for the video, including video. So this is the affordance of the any applications, any kind of design. This was also discussed in the class, the design of the conceptual design of the door. Here we another design of the doors. Good use of affordance in door design. Vertical handles affords grasping and pulling. A flat panel affords pushing, and broadness indicates which side to push. So these are the examples of affordance. This is the design of the good or bad affordance design. Here we have the home and have the door cannot be opened by the user, so the affordance for this doors seems reasonable within themselves. Context everything. Hopefully the door is kept locked. So these are another example. These are the labeled buttons are labeled through instructions. These are the instructions, not labeled. So these instructions guide the user for usage of the buttons. A label is as big as the control panel. This is a control panel. So it will guide the user how to use the buttons. Mappings are the relationship between controls and their effects on system. Natural mappings. The natural mappings take advantage of physical analogies and cultural standards. For example, turning steering wheel clockwise to turn a car right. It's a natural mapping. Actually, there are two mappings here, which control affects steering, which direction to turn it. So mapping, natural mappings, mapping of cooker controls. These are the examples. In this chapter, the constraints played a very vital role for the development of the design, and the understanding of the design. The difficulty of dealing with a novel situation is directly related to the number of possibilities. The constraints are physical, semantic, cultural, and logical limits on the number of possibilities. The physical constraints such as pigs and holes limit possible operations. Semantic constraints rely upon our knowledge of the situation and the word. Cultural constraints rely upon accepted cultural conventions. Logical constraints exploit Logical relationship. For example, a natural mapping between the spatial layout of component and their controls. So these are four type of the constraints are playing a very important role before designing uh, any kind of thing. Constraints in Lego motorbike. How many constraints are in the Lego bike? Motorbike toy with 12 parts. Constraints make this constraint simple even if for adults. Physical constraint is that front wheel only fits in one place. Semantic, the rider sits on the seat facing forward. This is the constraint. And semantic constraint. This is the figure. The parts of the Lego motorbike. The cultural constraint of the rare red is a rear light, yellow in a front light. Logical constraint, two blue lights, two white pieces probably go together. So this is the when we have to design the conceptual model and implement into the actual, then we have to focus on the constraints. What constraints are related to the available source of things. Conventions. Conventions are cultural constraints. Conventions, what is the cultural constraint? They are initially arbitrary but evolve and become accepted over time. In somewhere different meanings and can be understood. Conventions are the changed by the social changes, by the cultural changes. The convention cultural constraints affected. Here we have the examples of light switches. You see, the light switches in America means down is off. Down is off. Where in Britain, down is on. The two cultural conventions in the constraints. Here, water taps in America designed anti-clockwise is on, whereas in Britain anti-clockwise is off. The color red in the America assumed a sign of danger. In Egypt, sign of death. In India, sign of life. In China, happiness. So, principle of causality. Causality is the relation between two events, cause and effect, where the second occurs as a sequence of the first. Apparent causality is when something which happens immediately after an action appears to have been caused by the action. We associate the effect with the apparent cause. This is the formation of the assembled Lego motorbike. There are two after the analyzing the all constraints. This is the consumer design. There are two kinds of fast causality. Coincidental effects lead to superstition. Fast causality. Touch a computer terminal just before it fails and you are apt to believe you caused the failure. Start unfamiliar application just before the computer crash. So this coincidental effects lead to superstition. Invisible effects lead to confusion. Invisible effects lead to the confusion. When an action has no apparent result, you may conclude it was ineffective and repeat it. For example, repeatedly clicking the stop button when the system is unresponsive. Invisible effects lead to confusion. There is a need for feedback. Feedback from the human. The structure of human memory have two types: short-term memory and long-term memory. In the short-term memory, information is retained in short-term automatically and retrieved without effort. However, the amount of information is severely limited. In the long-term memory, it takes time to put stuff into long-term memory and time and effort to get stuff out. Means it's relating to the past of the memory. So capacity is estimated at about 100 million atoms. Knowledge in the head and in the world. Not all of the knowledge required for precise behavior has to be in the head. It can be distributed, partly in the world, and partly in the constants of the world. So here we have to see some examples of psychology. This also discussed in the class. Error, human error, also very human error plays an important role for the development of any design. People make errors routinely. You must design for error. Assume that any error that can be made will be made. Design X-prober systems where operations are easily to answer. We cannot improve the design without a human error. So whenever a human error occurred, or some errors faced by the system or design, it can be developed, it can be made for completion. When we stop making the errors in the design, it means that we have finished the design and it cannot be improved further. So there are two categories in the errors, fundamental categories. Slips results from, one is slips, result from automatic behavior when subconscious actions toward a correct goal go wrong. Subconscious action means we unconsciously goes to the wrong way. It is said to be a slips, not another way. So another kind of human error is mistake, result from conscious deliberations which formed an inappropriate goal. Consciously, deliberately, we go to the wrong path, or we guide somebody on the wrong side. So we made the mistakes. So these are the two differences between the human error. Conceptual models, before going to design any kind of project or model, we go to the conceptual model. A conceptual model is a mental model of how something works, which is formed inside a person's head. Users' conceptual model built up and influenced by the numerous factors, including these are the factors which all influence the concept model. Familiarity with the similar devices, transfer of previous experience, empirical studies, research studies, surveys. These are the ways to transfer the experience. Affordances, the possibilities, the functionalities of the devices are models. Mapping the relationship between the parts, constraints, the key parameters to interact with the mappings are designed. Casualties, what casualties are possible. Instructions or rules or heuristics interacting with the device. These are the key factors involved in the conceptual model designing. Here we have a concept of a fridge, freezer, which was very familiar and everybody shall understand easily. Can be understood easily by the design, conceptual design. Projecting correct concept design. Designers have their own concept model of system. The design model The system image is the actual implementation or embodied of the design, including documentation, instruction, and labels. The user's model is built through interaction with the system. Here we have user's model. We see the user's model is built through interaction with the system. We go through the system, and then after the actual and real system can through the help of real system we can model the users. With the help of the users we can model the design of the any kind of project. It said be the users model, means users guide us, guide the designer what to do and what to be design, what shall be the design. The designer expects the user's model to be the same as the design model. Designer expects the user's model to be the same as the design model. However, all the communication takes place through the system image. However, the designer, if guided through some papers, some models, assumed he is going to the same design as required by the user. The system should make the design model clear and consistent. So this is the conceptual model of the. Here we have the mappings, labels, and instructions of about the concept free and control instructions model. The apparent concept model for the fetch freezer gleaned from the control instructions is that each controller is responsible for the temperature of the corresponding. These are the manuals or instructions of the freezer concept model. A very good conceptual model example is pair of scissors. A good conceptual model always always referenced for the any kind of understanding. And here we have the affordances. What we see, the affordances of the conceptual model: constant small hole for thumb. Affordance means holes are for putting fingers in. This is the affordance. Affordable. We can put into the holes the fingers easily. It can be defined in the also image or model. Constant small hole for thumb, big hole for the several fingers. This is the constants rule. Mapping relationship holes and fingers suggested and constrained by the appearance. Conceptual model operations. Conceptual model operating parts are visible and their implications are clear. Here in this example, pair of scissors, we easily understand what is the design, what is the constants, what is the relationship between the constants. So some designs have easily systemized or organized by using the concept model. Designer can understand easily by the image, system image. Digital watch project no visible conceptual model. Cannot be visible because the affordance 4 buttons to push, but what to do it cannot be showed in the model. Mapping no clear relationship between buttons and possible actions. Transfer of prior knowledge little similarity to analog watches. Previously prototyping cannot be clearly explain the new emerged design. Conceptual model must be learned from instructions. So without instruction, a conceptual model cannot be understood by the designer. It must be included. The instruction set will guide the designer to design the good conceptual model, to implement the model. So that's why these are the computers previous history examples of the past history examples to understand the conceptual model design. I go to the multi-row procedure distributed messages. These are user-centered design. User-centered design. A design completes by the help of the user. Without the help of the user and guidance and needs and requirements, the design cannot be completed, design cannot be modeled. System-centered design. In the system design, what can be built easily on this platform? What can I create from the tools available? What do I as developer find interesting to work on? So this is a system-centered design. Users are not necessarily to give the feedback for the completion of the design. User-centered design. In the user-centered design, the design is based upon our users' abilities and needs, context, work, and tasks. Means we cannot complete the design without the user's help, without the user's consent, without the users' goals or targets. Okay. Thank you very much, guys. Till to this lecture, we have completed 2 chapters, and in the next lecture video we discuss about the usability of engineering. So hopefully this already uploaded on the Google Class. You must study this so that we can understand and clearly understand the terms and the terms, and the difficult questions can be answered by the online class. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.